But what are you looking to do with that sports management kind of degree?
So, I mean, it would be nice to either get into coaching. Like I would definitely value being able to coach I would say at any level, but I would at least like to start with college.
Yeah.
But aside from hands-on aspect, it'd be cool if I was able to be like if I was able to work to become a GM. I'm not
Okay.
saying that obviously I'm not equipped to be one right now, but
Yeah.
with with training and practice, I would like to have my end goal be a GM.
What has been some like research that you've done to be able to kind of get you there? I've always explored. I wouldn't say I've always wanted to be a coach. Definitely not at the college level. That's just not for me. I've being in college business of college football. Would be like, man, I don't like it as much as some people do. But the GM side, that's something that interests me. What are some research or stuff you've done to be able to be like, oh man, what's the next step to getting to work to that GM?
When it comes to like my want to be a GM, like that stems from what I've like seen through countless hours of like watching Hard Knocks, all the real like football shows that deal with like the behind the scenes of like what makes a team function.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I like being able to figure out problems and get paid for it.
Would you be like open to like necessarily not necessarily being a GM at like for the football, but for like other sports as well?
I definitely would. I feel like, like I understand more than just the game of football. I understand other elements as well.
Kind of going back here, so being a GM or do you kind of, or wanting to be a GM, do you get involved like with the draft or like kind of stuff like that? Do you have like a special intrigue like when it comes to like drafting or like trades or like salary cap and stuff like that in the NFL?
So when I was younger, me and my dad used to sit down and then he would like explain to me everything that he would do. So like I started to get more hands-on like through high school, but when it came to like me growing up and falling in love with like the process, he used to have this big chalkboard and he used to write down like who he felt like. He used to have his own mock draft, basically, like put the stats, the values of the players, like what he saw them doing long term. So I don't know, just seeing my dad do that like all those years, and he wouldn't just do it for football either. He would do it for the NBA draft as well. So
wow,
yeah, he was, yeah.
Well, maybe we'll have to do like a little draft spectacular, maybe upcoming here in April, and get you on a little live special, and we could maybe get you back on for later for a mock draft and maybe a little our thoughts on each pick and stuff like that. I love the NFL draft. I don't know. There's something about it, and like building a team or building like managing or building a team at any level, but even at the highest level of NFL, it just like I find that really fascinating. I did one last year. A little mock draft on the podcast, which was pretty cool. But I'll even watch, like I won't go in depth and like go quite crazy and watch like film and stuff like the hardcore film, but I like watch like highlights and stuff like that of like different people and different needs and stuff like that. I always found that really interesting.
So definitely got something in common. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome. So D-Bert, what of course the goal for you is making it to the NFL and doing stuff like that. But have you thought about kind of like you have 2 years left, but have you kind of thought about after football? It all ends for us at some point. But what are your thoughts on kind of what you want to do after football?
I'm also on the sports management master program.
Okay, sweet.
So yeah, we're in the same program and whatnot. But I want to be able to be a recruiter. So our old coach, Coach Thatch, he was I was really close with him, and that's funny what he does for the NFL. So I want to be able to reach out to him eventually one of these days and see the process of getting to that. Because I think it'd be dope to be able to go travel the country to see the top athletes and be able to meet people and help them get to that next level type of thing. I like to interact with people, and I've always been a big believer in helping the next man out type of thing. So I think if I did go with the sports route, it would have to be that. But however, I do have a big dream of mine forever in my life. I don't know why it's always been this, but I always wanted to own like a nightclub or like a bar or something like that. Because I'm just
Nice.
coming from my family. Like everybody likes to have fun. Like I
Yeah.
remember growing up, waking up on a Saturday evening, music playing, mom's dancing, the sisters is going. So like I always had like that type of energy around me. So
Mhm.
that's always been one of like my backdoor dream of opening my own bar or nightclubs kind of thing. So right now, me and one of my best friends, he's in the process of doing it now because he's already done with college and everything like that. So he's getting the blueprints down, finding the building for us. So he's starting it up right now. So shout out to him. So I have 2 years. Hopefully he has it done and it starts the process rolling. But yeah, so it's either if I stick with my master's program and go stay with the sports route, I want to be a recruiter. And just like either in college or in an NFL aspect like that. And if everything doesn't fall into place and I got to go to my plan C, which is my other dream, I would love to own my own bar and just have
Yeah.
a good time and enjoy the time.
That'd be cool. Have you kind of been involved with like, all the logistics side of things? Of course, finding the right place and like, hurdling over like liquor licensing and stuff
Yeah.
like that of like, and all the kind of pains of like a small business owner.
Yeah, me and my brother, we pretty much had a deep conversation because we're young, so we know people are gonna either overlook us or don't think we're serious. So that was the hardest part, was finding people that are willing to work with younger kids, like younger men, type of thing.
Yeah.
And we don't want anybody to upsell us and stuff like that. And where we're from, Rochester, it's a big bar scene. So we use pretty much what like the bars we went to and what we seen that people like, and we want to do something like that. And pretty much he found the location. He's just trying to find the right fit for how we're trying to run our bar and things like that. So since I'm obviously not in Rochester and TT, I've been more of like, he'll come and brainstorm with me and see my opinion on it and like vent to me about it. But I don't have like my hand in the door yet, because he still wants me to focus on like my dream, my career, which is football and school. But other than that, yeah, me and him, we vent and we shoot the talk and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's going well though. I'm excited.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I think there's also like some life lessons to be like learned from, from managing people or managing like a business or stuff like that, that I think anybody can use. And you might as well start young, because, you have so much time to recover, and you'd like to live with that regret. Not live with that regret and be like, oh, what coulda, woulda, shoulda, and stuff like that. So I think it's awesome that you guys are following your dreams and stuff like that. D-Bert, you talked a little bit about being a scouter or kind of, being in sales or stuff like that, recruiting people. Is that like, that could be a route to GM? Is that like, and being in sports management, is that like another thought too? Is like, because there's been some scouts that have been able to work their ranks to be that GM side of things.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if the opportunity presents itself to level up and get to a bigger position to make a bigger change, I would love the opportunity to take that. But honestly, I like to travel and go around and see things, like see people and do things like that. So I wouldn't even mind being a recruiter or a scouter, so the part, and just be able to like travel and look at football and see the next coming up guys, everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and I think like playing sports our whole life has taught us so many life lessons that we're going to be able to use in the real world, like structure, discipline, them type of things. So I feel like not only having the schooling background, getting our undergrad, getting our master's, but playing ball has taught us so many life lessons that whatever opportunities we do get, we're going to give it 110 and we're going to buy in and we're going to make it ours, type of thing.
One to do.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Talking a little about sports, and you guys, have talked a little bit about that. Have you guys always had, like, as a kid, like a super passion for sports?
Yes,
Of course.
yeah.
What kind of made you fall in love with sports growing up?
The reason I fell in love with sports was just because it was my escape. I'm from the inner city, single parent, really violent area. But when I was on that baseball diamond, or if I was on that football field, I knew I felt comfortable, I felt safe, and I felt that the world was in my palm. So that was pretty much my motivation, was I can use this for my peace. I can use this to clear my mind.
Yeah.
And it went from that to, wait, I can probably change my life from this. I can break the script. Nobody in my family went to college.
That's
I have a college degree for free. Nobody in my family has a master's. I'm getting my master's paid for. Now my little brother, who's 11, he has somebody that he can look up to and be like, okay, I don't have to go left. I can go right, just like my brother did.
Correct.
And not even just him, not my family members, but people in my neighborhood. When I go home, all the kids look up to me like they call me Day Day. Like, yo, you did it. Like, how? Show me, talk to me. Like, now I love the opportunity to, like, I go home, I do camps with kids, I talk to people, I give out free gear. Like,
that's awesome.
Playing the sport changed my life, and that started when I was a kid. Like you said, the motivation of just being able to change my own life to help my family life as well. So that was pretty much my motivation.
Can't top that, man.
You know, it's all, we all have different stories and different backgrounds, which I think is so awesome about sports, right? You know, like D Burt using it as a opportunity to change his family's life and change his atmosphere around him. You know, I think that's awesome. I think we need more people like D Burt where, you know, everyone, I think we get in our society of like, we believe everything should be given to us or and all these other things, man. We all got, you know, at the end of the day, we got to work for it. I think that's so big, man. We got to be, and especially as college athletes, we got to set a good example because we never know who's looking up to us and being able to do that. So I think that's so awesome that, you know, what you're able to do, D Burt, is help, you know, you're not just helping yourself, but you're helping a whole community, you know, continually to be better. And you're setting an example to, you know, show example and show that the world, you know, everyone can do it. You know, some, you know, God's gifted some of us to be able to do certain things, but at the end of the day, you know, we're all capable of doing it, you know, whether it's at D Burt's level or, you know, and paving a way, but there's always a path for us to be able to, you know, choose to be, hey, we can either go down a path that, you know, might not be great for us, or we can go down a path that might be a lot harder. But at the end of the day, we're going to impact people, you know, at a high level, which I think is awesome.